Hello and welcome back. This is the Gamer 2.0. Today we're going to be continuing on with Thousand Arms. So last time when we left off, I'm in the middle of getting Nelsha up, or not Nelsha. I'm in the middle of getting Hydaelyn up to level 10, but I do need some more MP just because doing anything right now just costs like over 1,000 MP per whatever. So any type of upgrades, any type of like the dates are not bad, but just any like weapon upgrades, it's like 1,000 MP per. So just gonna get a little bit more MP here. So I've got to say, I really like the way that this game kind of does the combination of dating mechanics with like JRPG stuff, and I think that they did a pretty good job with like also making it more anime-like rather than just kind of trying to stick to like the PS1 graphics. So I think it's actually done quite well, and the fact that they actually incorporate the dating mechanics into how you power up your weapons, things like that, I think that it's actually done quite well. I can't really think of a lot of games that have actually like implemented a kind of system similar to it. Like, don't get me wrong, like I know that there are games that actually like have like dating mechanics in them, but not ones that like directly tie to your progression or upgrade or get additional stuff. Specifically for your main character. And I mean, like I can understand why, because you don't want to like push something that the player doesn't really want to engage with very much. But when it comes to something like this, like the whole point of the game is to actually build relationships with other people in order to make your main character or the other characters better. I do wish that there was a little bit more beyond like the special attacks that would provide, you know, different things. So like when you get higher intimacy levels, they provide specific spells that they don't share with anyone else. And then the girls in cities and towns, I think that it should have been a little bit more specific for them as well. So like you could have like a couple of dud levels, but like getting things that are like specifically for specific girls, like for example, the fact that Weena has an upgrade specifically for Musa, because Musa has a crush on her, I think is great, but I wish they would have done more with that. Stuff with like I haven't really done Sodina yet, so Sodina might have something for Soshi or something like that. But okay, so it actually applied a status effect that I've never seen before, but didn't matter because he just like immediately died. But I think that like there should be more things that like set the characters apart than just like their special attacks. So like getting specific magical spells that only they can get, or things that specifically apply only to them. What I think would have been a little bit better. Because just kind of as it is, the game is fun, and the thing is, it's like with mice you get summons, but everyone else gets special attacks. So, I mean, giving mice like summons and special attacks might have been interesting. It would have like kind of more defined who mice is, unless they were kind of going for like the Western RPG when it came to like mice, that he was supposed to be kind of like a reflection of the player, not really like his own character. Because you do make like a lot of choices for him, you do have a lot of specific input that goes into Mice's character himself. But he's still like his own named character that doesn't really kind of like adhere to a lot of the player's choices. So, for example, he makes a lot of his own movements and a lot of his own actions. For example, if you play like a Western RPG, a lot of times like you play as like a title, it's not a specifically named character, and you kind of just go through and build the character as you want, have them do the things that you want, kind of tackle things like as you see fit. Whereas like in JRPGs, like it's a little bit more linear when it comes to the character themselves. You're typically playing as a named character, meaning that the character is not yours really to really like make the decisions for. It's more of like a character that has like their own goals, their own wants, their own like line of things that they need to do. Whereas when it comes to Western RPGs, it's a lot less of that. It's more like the player has the complete agency over the character. So what the player wants is what the character wants, basically. Whereas in JRPGs, the main character will kind of have their own things, their own goals that they want to like kind of accomplish. But it doesn't really seem to strike me the same way as that here. Just because Mice has kind of like the thing about being like the spirit blacksmith, and then wanting to be involved with as many girls as possible. So he has like very specific things that he wants to go for. He doesn't really like want to become like a mage. He doesn't really want to progress down different avenues. It's like I've got these two things that I really want, and that's what I'm going to go for. We're fighting a lot of 1 and 2 monster fights here. But not very good for MP building. Kind of hoping for more 3. But I kind of think that the way this game kind of handles the mixture of both combat and dating mechanics, I think is actually pretty good. It's kind of something that kind of lends into the idea that your relationships actually do affect how powerful your character becomes. But this is more of like a romantic relationship versus like a friendship. Because you have nothing that, you know, with like Musa or Soji, they don't make Mice any more powerful, and Mice doesn't make them any more powerful. It's only Mice's interaction with the girls that makes them and him more powerful. Which is why, you know, it doesn't really feel like there's a reason for Musa and Soji to really be in the party. If they were just like side characters that could only be like back row characters, and the only time that they would ever come up to the front row is if Mice got knocked out. Alright, finally we got a 3-person fight here. But if Mice ever got knocked out, then they would kind of step in and become like the character, and the female characters are all just like back row. I think that would have been a little bit better, just because it would actually kind of give a reason for them to be there. Other than like, oh yeah, they, you know, they're moral support kind of thing. This is kind of just there from the beginning, so he's there whenever it comes to like Mice's friendship. So she comes in about halfway through, but doesn't really like add a whole lot to the party, I don't think. I guess like they can be like love interest rivals, but it just kind of feels like kind of haphazard and not really well done. Just because although like the girls will like say like one thing about them on the date, it's not like if you're on a date with one girl, they go on a date with a different girl, and so it's like competing between like what the girls are interested in, and they don't like do anything that, you know, lowers intimacy level, such as if you have like a set amount of like intimacy that a girl can have. So like if so like for example, if you have Soshi, Musa, and Mice, and there's a maximum of 10 intimacy that a girl can have. Mice starts out with 4, Musa and Soshi both start out with 3, and it's your job as the main character to move their intimacy levels closer to Mice. So having like Mice take them out on dates like increases their intimacy level, but then you'd also have while you take one girl on a date, Musa or Soshi would take another girl on a date, and so would push their intimacy in that direction. And so they would provide different special effects only for Musa, only for Soshi, and then Mice would get like special attacks or anything like that only if he has high intimacy with them that way. You could also make it to where if they have low intimacy, that Mice can get different special effects, such as if Mice for some reason has higher intimacy than Soshi does, then perhaps Soshi gets a special attack that is more powerful, but only if he has lower intimacy with more girls. Just things like that. I think would have been a little bit better, but I mean, like, I do understand that there are kind of like difficulties when it comes to how you really kind of play that out, especially with like older hardware, where it might be a little bit difficult to actually like get all of that, and that's more mechanics that you have to program and kind of get working. Whereas the way that it currently is very, very simple, but it doesn't really feel like Musa or Soshi have like a very big impact whatsoever when it comes to the female characters. Because like we hear when the girls are talking back in Miss Antonia before the end of Disc 1, where they're talking about how they feel about each of the male characters. And it doesn't really give you a sense that it really would change at all, depending on like what your intimacy level is, how your character has acted like throughout dates. Which I think like if like Soshi has high intimacy with a certain character, and she's like, yeah, I like Soshi the best, or if Musa has a high intimacy with a character, like, yeah, I like Musa the best, or things like that. Where they kind of give like a little bit more background on those characters rather than just like, oh, you know, like, oh yeah, wild, like Musa's a wild guy, and Soshi is so smooth, and that's like the only two things that you really get out of them. Whereas that's like how they kind of interact with the girls. But if it was like, yeah, they also go on dates with like Musa and Soshi, because like they have their own things that they power up based on if they, you know, have high intimacy with the girls, then it kind of changes the dynamic of how like the player can interact. Because like if a player specifically like neglects like one of the girls, like leaves her out like one intimacy in the game, like it doesn't change anything. You just don't get her specific you just don't get like her specific like spells or abilities. Whereas if it was made so that the intimacy of other characters actually does matter on like kind of like what you get, then I think it would matter a little bit more. But as it is, like it just kind of feels like all the girls kind of turn out the same, and the guys have like no real purpose of being there. Alright, but we're taking Kylene on another date. We're taking her to the casino.
You are so good at dealing with women.
Alright, so we have I only treat you this way, or I'm perfect in every aspect, and that includes how I treat a girl. B is just a straight up lie. A is also a straight up lie, but it's a nicer lie than B is.
That's what I thought. Why do you hit on so many different girls?
So we have, what are you talking about? You're the only girl I love, or but I like them all. We're definitely gonna go with A.
Don't try to kiss up to me. I feel like I need to get scolded sometimes.
So we have, I'd like you to scold me, or yeah, I agree. I'd like you to scold me, I don't think that is going to be a good response for most characters. I don't think that she would really be the one that would like something like that. But I guess this like kind of plays into like her personality of like, does she want to be like the dominant one, or does she want to be the less dominant one? So I'm gonna think that B is a better way to go, is to say yeah, I agree. I'm gonna try B here.
Do you think so? What do you do when you've got nothing else to do?
Alright, so we have scamming, womanizing, and going after girls, or it's a secret. Yeah, it's saying that like you're into like scamming and womanizing when you're on a date with another girl. I don't think that's ever gonna work out. So we're gonna go with B. It's a secret.
You are so perverted, Mice. You're hiding something from me, Mice.
Alright, so we have the of course not, I have nothing to hide, or hey, how did you find out? I mean, like, everyone has stuff that they hide, even from themselves, where they don't really want to acknowledge certain things. Being like, hey, how did you find out? I don't know, like, that could just be confirming suspicion, whereas A could be like, well, there's nothing really to hide. I'm gonna go with A just because I think it's a better response, although neither of these are really good, so I'm gonna go with A.
Can I believe you? Do you think love grows in the presence of hardships like poverty?
So we have, that's right, just like the two of us. Or I don't think it matters for me at least. Well, she likes money, so I don't think like when it comes down to like that's right, just like us two, I don't think that's gonna work out very well. So whereas B is like, well, poverty doesn't really matter for me. I guess I could be like, you know, poverty doesn't matter because I have money, but I mean like that's kind of nebulous what this actually is like referring to. I think B is a better response here, just because like saying like, yeah, because we're in poverty right now, that's good. Which she doesn't like. She doesn't like not having money, so I'm gonna go with B.
Oh, that's how you are. Have you ever broken a promise?
So we have, I always keep my promises, especially to girls, or it depends on the situation. I'm gonna go with A, just because keeping your promise is always kind of the better way to go. If you can't do something, don't make a promise for it. So I'm gonna go with A.
I don't know if I can believe you. I think I'm really porking out.
Alright, so we have, I think you're beautiful the way you are, or you should gain more weight. I'm gonna go with A.
Nah, I'm depressed every time I get on the scale. But thanks anyway. What does it mean to be a man?
Alright, so we have the to have lots of girls or to take over the world. We're definitely not gonna go with to have lots of girls.
You should write a book with all the cheesy lines you have, Mice. Do you like to watch romantic movies?
Alright, so we have, let's have a relationship like they do in the movies, or I dream of romance like that. Again, I think having a relationship like they do in the movies is like too exhausting. too much kind of BS just like happens in movies that either A, doesn't make sense, or B, isn't really realistic when it comes to like an actual real life event. It's more like a dramatized version of that, where I think B is just like, yeah, you know, like I would like a romance where, you know, stuff happens a lot and, you know, it brings people closer together, but actually like living that is a little bit of a different story. So I'm gonna say B.
I don't think it's something to be envious of. They usually end in tragedy.
Some do, some don't.
It was really fun. Ask me out again, okay?
Alright, so with that, intimacy up to maximum level, so we're going to keep that the way that it is and head into the smithy and see what ability or spell we've got from Kylene. And that just leaves Sodina, and we can run back and check on weapon progress. Ice Storm. Definitely sounds like a attack spell, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that to Mice. Alright, so we got Ice Storm. I guess I can also give it to Kylene as well. Just because, I mean, it's her attack, so I want to make sure that she actually has that ability. And with us kind of keeping the characters at this intimacy level, we can still give that spell to anyone else, so I don't have to give it to everyone right away. Or anyone else right away. Alright, and that leaves us with 600 left. And only Sodina is left when it comes to actually getting to the max intimacy. So, again, I think Metalia is another character that I can possibly date. Not 100% sure, but if she is, I have lots of gifts I can try to give her. Just kind of see what she likes, what she doesn't like. And then we can also, like, upgrade weapons with her. And I guess I shouldn't be trying to, like, run away or skip fights just because I need all the MP I can really get. Alright, so we're going to go back, check on the weapons, see if they're moving. And if they are, fantastic, we can put more weapons in. And, I mean, if I'm lucky, like, there'll be another step to the journey where I have to go to a specific place or do a specific thing or unlock a specific vehicle or something to make it to where I can actually head to the moon. And hopefully that'll take the amount of time that I need. Plus, if Metalia is actually a date character, then I can possibly use the time that I spend taking her on dates and getting her intimacy up as time for other items to actually polish and actually be ready. Alright. I don't really care if Musa or Soshi levels up because I don't really plan on upgrading their weapons at all. Alright. But let's go ahead and warp out of here to Mist's demolition kit. fit in and see where our weapons are at. So the axe has been in here the longest. Which in all honesty is kind of a waste. Just because I'm pretty sure that it's going to be Musa who gets the axe. I can't really see Mice using the axe, but I think it's Musa. Just because he kind of has like the big blade. So I think it would make sense for Musa to have it. But we do have a fair amount of money. So when we head into Miskatoniya, we might have enough to clear out their item shop for girls. So I do think that this game is a little bit interesting how they decided to do like magic and stuff, just with having MP as elemental power, whereas EP is energy points. Kind of makes it a little bit confusing when you actually are like in fights and stuff, because you're so used to things being like MP is magic points, whereas EP. I mean, like, EP just sounds like it would be elemental points, but that might be the thing with, like, the localization more than the actual game itself. Initial thought is, oh, like I'm getting MP at the end of the fight, but no, you're getting elemental power, you're not getting, like, magic points back. So yeah, it might have made more sense if they translated it to EP instead of MP, and then MP was what you use for casting spells and like that. Because even with like special attacks and summons and things like that, you don't actually ever use your EP to do stuff like that. Those are all set on like a set number of times that you can do those actions, which is really kind of reminiscent of like things like what's it called? Dungeons & Dragons, where you have a certain number of spell slots a day that you can use, and the magic system here is like you have a set number of points that you can use to cast magical spells, but whenever you have things like summons or big effects or attacks or anything like that, it's based on a set number of uses, similar to D&D, where you can cast a spell X number of times equal to the number of spell slots you have for that level. Or if you want to do things like use items and stuff, like you have a set number of items that you can use based on how much you can afford to have or how many you've actually found. Just things like that. Whereas D&D doesn't really have like a magic point system, where you have like X amount of points and each spell costs X amount to cast. So it's kind of interesting that they kind of went with like the dual route of, well, you have X number of slots for specific summons and specific special abilities, then you have X number of points for casting spells based on the number of points you want to use. I guess this way? I've only been through here like 5 times, but still remembering like the layout of this place is kind of annoying. So back in the day when I would play video games, I would kind of remember, like if I enjoyed the game or if I played it a lot, I would memorize a lot of different aspects about it, and like I would just be able to remember or recall even like more specific things about the game, like maps, areas, story beats, specific things like that, and I'd be able to do that pretty easily, where I could go back and I could play the same game. And remember exactly like what I needed to do, where I needed to go. Didn't have to follow the story at all. It wasn't like I needed to remind myself what I needed to do. It was just, okay, do this, go here, do this, buy this, get this, go here, deal with this enemy. I mean, it got to the point where like certain games I could actually like remember specifically like where traps were, like and how like the map was laid out. Now it's with so many games and things like that, like I don't really have like the space in my head to sit there and memorize every single thing that I've ever done for every video game that I've ever played. But back in the day, like I used to just kind of do that, where like I'd memorize like where specific things were that I needed to look for or do. Alright, so that looks ready. But I guess not. I don't know how much brighter it's supposed to get. I mean, it is pretty bright, but I guess that's not particularly ready yet. Alright, well. So with the guide that I did look at before, it did say that you should be like placing these items like as soon as you get them, just because it takes a while. So I guess like these, if I didn't have like the knowledge about it, I mean, like I don't know what you're supposed to do. If you're just supposed to be like, well, you know, I've gotten to Gianova, and I guess it's too late to get all this stuff. I don't know, maybe if there's like some additional like quest or something that I have to do to actually get to the moon, maybe then like I'll actually be able to get the items. But I don't know like how long we're actually going to be spending on the planet before going to the moon. Once I get to the moon, I don't know if I'll be able to come back. Because if I can't come back, then although you might be able to come back, I don't know, but I don't know if, like what the point of like no return is for this game. If it's like going to the moon, like you don't come back, or going to Miscantonia, you don't come back after that, or you can't do any more days, or you can't do whatever. I don't know like where the point of no return for this game is, but I am kind of nervous to actually like find out, which is why we're doing the dates for as many girls as possible and getting the intimacy up to maximum level now, before actually heading to Miscantonia, where I don't know what happens after that. Just because like it seems like we're kind of in like the last throes of the game, because we've defeated all of the Emperor's minions, all of his machine minions. We've defeated Schmidt and Jella, his girl that was helping him make dark weapons. And I mean, like, we're kind of like closing out a lot of like the chapters of different characters. So I'm not sure like what, like where we're really at, because it kind of feels like the Emperor going to the moon is kind of like the top of the action, and now we're like in the part where like we need to go and do like the final conflict. Because I don't really think there's much left. Other than possibly like Bandigger, but even that, like Bandigger just kind of feels like a side character, like not really a main priority or a character to really like do anything with. Like he's just kind of like a jokey character that is just an annoyance. I don't know, maybe he plays some like big plot or role point in the story, and him like appearing everywhere that Mice is, he could be collecting holy flames, just because he like is always showing up in the same place that Mice is. So maybe he's collecting the holy flames. Maybe he's like playing a bigger part of the story, like behind the scenes that you don't really see. But you follow Mice because Mice is the guy with all the girls in his party. That's trying to like save the world, whereas Bandigger is just like looking out for himself, I guess. Because he's like stealing money, taking items. I mean, he constantly talks about true love, but I mean, like, he doesn't really seem to have any particular love interest or anything. I would say that he like most represents like a character like Kylene, because she's also about like self-sustaining things, keep like getting money for yourself, basically like living life so that you kind of protect yourself as much as possible. And which reminds me a lot of Bandigger, but yeah, either way, he just doesn't really seem like a big player in the story at this point. Which he could, and if he does, I mean, like, I think that would be kind of an interesting twist, where he's like, actually, I've been collecting the holy flames behind you every step of the way, and although I've been fighting you, it's me testing your strength to see how you progressed. And who knows, Bandigger might be like Mice's brother or something. Like with Mice's father being a bigger womanizer than Mice's. It might just be his brother from like a different mom or a different wife or something like that. Which, I mean, again, would be kind of an interesting proposition, but I mean, like, that could be a possible turn where it's like both of these characters have specific things. Bandigger just went out and was searching for his own destiny, didn't really want to become a spirit blacksmith like his father, whereas Mice lived specifically with his father. But I'm just speculating at this point, just trying to like figure out like if Bandigger at all plays like any type of specific like any type of like specific point to the story at this point, just because we haven't really seen like his conclusion. I did want to check a couple of these points and just see if there's any gift shops around here. Looks like this is just a regular one. I don't need to sell anything. I'll just be done with this. Seems like another general shop. Yeah. that after. I don't know if that's like the town that has the gnomes or the dwarves in it. The ones that say hi-ho all the time. But we can check that. Okay, so this is the one that I think had the gift items for the girls. Check out Rockbit. Where is this? Because I don't think we can travel back to the Flying City anymore. Okay, yeah, so I don't have to travel to that specific point anymore. I can just travel directly here. Volcanic Island, all the points, Rockbit, Boruto, Skatonia, I'm gonna try getting in here again, just to see if I can possibly kind of farm some MP while I'm here. Because last time I tried, like, it wouldn't let me in. Yeah. Can I, like, catch some enemies, like, around here or something? I mean, I don't need to necessarily, like, as long as I can just, like, run into enemies, I guess. Just doesn't seem like it. Then what's the point of me being able to travel back to this place then? Alright, well, it's time for me to do some dates with Sedina. But that does mean that I need to go and collect some more MP, because we are down to about 1,000. And I'd like to have at least 3,000 to 4,000 so that if I get her to rank up and she has a new ability or a new spell for mice, we can actually give it to him. Hopefully we can get more than just like the 1 or 2 guys here. Because I can get 3, I can just use a summon, clear them out much faster than waiting for the attack. I mean, we are getting up there in level. We're at level 70. Which I'm not really sure how this game calculates like the cost of upgrades. Here we go. Well, I don't think... No, Fiend Knot is good. It's Flameal that I don't want to use against the Fire Spirits. Sedina does get a level up there. Right, so I wonder what kind of spells Sedina still has left to give. Possibly like another light spell. Maybe another heal spell. Possibly another special attack from one of the other male characters. It's honestly one of the reasons why I want to have like multiple thousands of points of MP, just because if I have to upgrade one of their weapons, it's like a huge amount of MP that I have to spend just upgrading theirs. I didn't want to leave. Now, yeah, it completely takes me into the whole mess. Great. Alright, well, guess I'm gonna be heading back to the beginning then. I mean, I still have a lot of presents that I can give, so I mean, it's not terrible. I can also do her minigame, which is not bad. It's just a game Simon Says. So like, Sodina's minigame is like the easiest, and I can build up intimacy and passing time with her. So I mean, like, it's not terrible. The only thing is, like, if I want to like upgrade anyone's like spells or abilities, like that's when it starts becoming an issue. Alright, back to the pair of howling werewolves. And of course I miss. Didn't miss the second time. I do like how some of the enemies will now try to run away, because they know that there's kind of like no point in fighting you actually. Because enemies do like 2 damage now versus me doing like hundreds and hundreds of damage to them. Alright, so did manage to get out of here pretty easily. So this should be another 300 MP. Which, I mean, for right now, it's not bad. So we're at 3,000, so that should be enough for dates, and maybe 1 upgrade. So the question is, where do I actually want to take Sodina for dates? I mean, she has been with us the entire game, so I mean, I guess I can take her back to Kant, just because Kant is Weiss's hometown, so she might actually like going to the tree there. Do I have anything that Sodina might like? Lipstick perfume. She might like peach lotion. She might like the hairpins too. So let's try the oak hairpin and see if she likes that. So I have a present for you.
I wonder what you're going to give me.
Here you go, oak hairpin.
Thank you. I'll accept it.
Alright, so hairpin looks good. I don't have any ribbons left because I think I gave those to Hyoka, Soshi's sister. But we can give her the bamboo hairpin, but she seems to like the hairpins. So I have a present for you.
I wonder what you're going to give me.
Here you go, bamboo hairpin.
Thank you.
Doesn't seem super excited about it. I mean, we are getting like the good noise. Alright, so gonna do just a regular date. Take her to the front of the tree. And do a date here.
I forgot about this kind of feeling.
So we have what kind of feeling? Or I can help you forget it. Yeah, we're not doing B. Going with A.
I'm not telling. I want to be with you all day.
So we have I'm sorry not today, or my heart is always with you. Definitely gonna go with B here.
Liar. How sad.
So we have, is there something you're concerned about, or is your wallet empty? I think B would be better for Kylene, but not for Sabina, so we're gonna go with A.
You are so mean.
Okay, I don't know asking how if you've got something you're concerned with is mean.
I love Italian food. I would say that ravioli is my favorite.
So we have, I love ravioli too, or I think meat sauce without meat is the best. Well, if it's meat sauce with no meat, then it doesn't have meat in it, so it's not meat sauce anymore. So I'm gonna go with I love ravioli too.
Really? Remind me to make you some when we have some free time. I'm free tomorrow if you want to do something.
So we have, do you want to go out with me, or don't you have any friends? Definitely going with A here.
Sure, I'd love to. Have you ever broken a promise?
So we have, I always keep my promises, especially to girls, or it depends on the situation. Saying that you break promises is never a good thing, especially if you're looking for like a relationship or some type of commitment, because the commitment is a promise to another person. So I'm gonna say I always keep my promises.
Are you sure? Why are you looking at me that way?
Alright, so we have I see myself in your eyes, or you've got some rice on your face. Definitely going with A here.
You're so romantic, Mice. Should we hold hands?
So we have with you, should I, or yay, it's been a while. Definitely don't want to go with A, because it's like, with you, I don't know. Whereas B is like, yeah, you know, like it's been a while since we held hands.
I'm just kidding, Mice. Do you really love me?
So we have, yes, look deep into my eyes, or yeah, sure. Definitely going with A here.
Hey, why are you looking away? What kind of person is your mother?
Alright, so we have, actually she's like you, or, can't you tell by looks, she's a very beautiful lady. I don't know, so Dina is kind of like the sisterly type, where she is very like caring and nurturing, but I don't know, she doesn't really have like a standout personality, I guess. But I think saying that she's like you might actually be the better response here, so I'm gonna go with A.
Mice, you can say the most wonderful things when you want to. Thanks for asking me out. See you soon.
Alright, so we did get a good response and an intimacy level up, so we're now up to 7 with Selena. We'll have to go and check and see if there's any upgrades. And if there is, we've got some MP to spend, which I am not looking really forward to, because if it's a healing spell or if it's a status spell, I have to give it to all the girls. If it's just like a magical damaging spell, I can just give it to Mice and Sodina and be basically done with it. So, let's see what we got here. Okay, so it's just another cure-all. Cure-all is not especially needed. I will give it to Nelsha though, because Nelsha is kind of one of the characters that I keep in the party frequently. But luckily I did get that spell from another character, so all the characters that need it already kind of have it. Other than, for some reason, Nelsha. It might have been before I actually got Nelsha in the party. But that does mean that we can do another date with Sodina. And even if we do get a level up, we shouldn't have another level that gives us a spell. It should be another dud level, which is fine, because that'll take us up to level 8. If level 8 is a dud level, then we can go up to level 9 without having to worry about any upgrades. And if there does require an upgrade at level 9 or level 8, we just have to go back and farm our MP.
You sure know how to treat girls well.
Alright, so we have, it's your beauty that influences my actions, or of course I have lots of experience. I'm going with A here.
Thank you, Mice. Do you think I'm naive?
Alright, so we have, of course not, you're so foolish, or the more naive a girl is, the cuter she gets. I don't like either of these, because one is calling her foolish, not naive. The other one is calling her naive, but she's cute because she is naive. I think B is a better response, although I hate both of these responses because both of these are not very good. But we're gonna go with B.
Oh, is that what you really think? Do you think I look good today?
So we have, yes, you look wonderful. Or, what? Sure, yeah, I think so. Definitely go with A.
Thank you very much. My ears are burning. Someone must be talking about me.
So we have, everybody likes you, or that can't be right. Going with A.
Mice. You can say the most wonderful things when you want to.
I mean, she doesn't really have a lot of bad traits.
I never really thought to ask, but do I treat you badly? I know I lose my temper sometimes.
So we have, I don't mind, I love it when you scold me, or yes you have, please comfort me. I don't know, B is kind of acting like a baby about it. Whereas A, being like, yeah, I like it when you scold me. I don't know, like, that kind of seems more masochistic, I guess. I think A is the better response here, but although she does kind of have a little bit of a temper, it's not really something that, when, like, Mike specifically, like, acts out or has specific things that he says, that's when she gets mad. So, I mean, it's kind of understandable that she has, like, certain things that, with most people, they have things that, like, will aggravate them or irritate them at certain points. So, I mean, it's kind of understandable. But again, she doesn't, like, have, like, a super strong personality. It's much more of, like, a caring, sisterly type than it is, like, a real kind of, like, personality, I guess. I'm gonna go with A. I don't mind. I love it when you scold me, even though, I don't know, like, because B just kind of feels like you're being a baby about it. Like, yeah, you've been mistreating me. Yeah, please comfort me, make me feel better.
Really? Mice, don't get weird on me, okay?
Yeah, neither of those responses were great.
I think it's necessary to get scolded sometimes.
Alright, so we have I'll help you if you're about to choose the wrong path, or I'll spank you if you're bad. We're going with A here.
I won't worry if you're around. What's going to happen to us?
Alright, so we have we'll be together no matter what, or who cares, why don't we hold hands instead? I'm gonna go with A, because B is like, I don't care about what the future holds, I just want to care about what happens now, whereas A is like more reassuring of like, we'll always be together no matter what happens. I think that's a much better response than B here.
Thank you very much. I believe there are many different kinds of love.
Alright, so we have how do you love me, or like how you love steak or football. I'm gonna go with A.
I'm not telling. I wonder what we'd be doing if we hadn't met. Knowing me, I'd probably still be hanging around the house.
So we have I'd be searching the world to find you, or I'd be hot tubbing with the babes. Definitely going with A.
You must really love me. Making somebody wait is bad, don't you think?
So we have I don't keep you waiting, do I? Or am I always late? I mean, like, I've tried I don't keep you waiting, do I, before, and I don't think it's ever really turned out well for me. Whereas asking am I always late, I've never tried that, but I don't really like the implication there. But I'm gonna go with B just because I've tried A before and it never really seems to work out the way that I want it to. So we're gonna go with B.
Yes, but it's okay.
Okay, it turns out that that's the better response.
Thanks for asking me out. See you soon.
Alright. So that is another level up, so we're up to level 8. We can go and check and see if it's a dud level or if we actually have a character to upgrade. Hopefully we don't have a character to upgrade, but we might, because it might be like some kind of like special attack for a certain character. Alright, no upgrades, that's good. Alright, so we can take her on dates up to level 9 before we'd have to do any more MP grinding. Because we don't have any upgrades for her right now. Hitting level 9 or level 10 might change that. But as for right now, we can do a full round of more dates before actually needing to go and MP grind. Let's go ahead and check in. I've used a bunch of summons. So, want to get all those recovered?
Get up, mice!
Go ahead and throw down a save. Thank you much, Lee. I'll come back now you're here. Okay? That'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you so choose, and I look forward to seeing everyone in the next episode.